reach the top somehow.
Yes, my Straight Talk family, when you hear that theme song, you know it's time for another edition of Straight Talk. And time for me to say good night, St. Kitts and Nevis. Good night to the entire Eastern Caribbean region. When you hear the theme song, is time as well to hail my Kittitian and Nevisian diaspora on the World Wide Web. And I know that you are all over the world. Some of you are in Africa. Some of you are in Asia. There's some of you in Europe, and a whole lot of you all over North America. So I'm at liberty to say good night. I can't say good morning. And I will say good afternoon, because one of such greetings will be applicable to the region in which you now find yourselves. And for those who are joining me for the first time, let me inform you that Straight Talk is a public service program that facilitates and promotes free expression on all issues of national interest, be they legal, be they environmental, be they technological, social, economic, and or political issues. On Straight Talk, you do have a forum to express yourselves freely. Let us in the process continue to keep St. Kitts and Nevis as one of the freest countries in the entire world. On this program, we try to raise the level of national consciousness. We try to raise the level of national discourse by alerting our people to their rights, to their responsibilities, and certainly to their obligations. My name is Ian Patches Liebert, and I give Almighty God thanks for blessing me with yet another opportunity to join you in conversation on yet another occasion. And my Stray Dog family, just some housekeeping matters from the onset. We are going to use those two new numbers I informed you of some programs ago, and I want to get your pens, your papers, and the numbers are 869-663-6672. Of course, if you're calling from home, St. Kitts, all you have to do is dial 663-6672. Again, 663-6672. For those in the diaspora, the telephone number is 646-829-6672. Both numbers end with 6672. Again, in the diaspora, 646-829-6672. Our email contact remains the same, zizstraightalk@gmail.com. So, again, those two numbers, you can call me direct or you can call me via WhatsApp. So that's an improvement, isn't it? So yes, those two numbers again, you can call me direct on those numbers or you can access the program as well via WhatsApp. My Stray Dog family, it's time has moved on pretty quickly, and I want to extend, on a solemn note, extend condolences to the Adams family over there in East Bastia on the passing of their sister, Heather Adams David. I want to extend condolences to her husband as well as to her sisters Carolyn and Shirley Adams. I've known them literally all my life, from around the corner there on Nevis Street West. I was around the corner on Nevis Street East. Former Fire Chief Adams, his daughter, has gone to the great beyond. I also heard of the passing of Mervyn Richardson from Sandy Point. I don't recall meeting him, but I know Delcy quite well, Kalia, and the entire family. We wish them Godspeed. And I know that is a process. And for all who have lost loved ones, I want to extend condolences to their families, my Stray Dog posse. I always do in fact give you our COVID-19 situation report as a public service as well, and I'm happy to learn that as of today, Monday 21st, there were no confirmed cases in the last 24 hours. That's good news. Although we hear about another upsurge in certain parts of the world, including here in the U.S. We've been warned against to protect ourselves, so we just can't put our guards down at home in St. Kitts either. And there are no confirmed cases in the last 24 hours, and the information that has just come to hand tells me that the total number of active cases in St. Kitts and Nevis is two. The total number of deaths still remain at 42, too many. And let's keep it that way, my Stray Dog family, as we're doing well in terms of the management of our COVID-19, our coronavirus-induced pandemic. And we must commend our CMO, Dr. Hazel Laws, and her quote-unquote deputy, the medical chief of staff, I should say, Dr. Cameron Wilkerson, and his entire team, and the NAOC, the HEOC, all those, the law enforcement, all those who continue to play a part in this fight against COVID-19. And importantly as well, it's the roll up, roll out statistics. And as of today, the 21st of March as well, I'm advised that the first doses in respect of the targeted population, remember the target is to vaccinate 70% of the population, the adult population, I think that speaks to. These are targeted population, let me say that. But we are at 82.8%, 83% to be exact. And second doses, meaning fully vaccinated, are 78%, 77.7% to be exact. I understand that 9.6% of our people have got their boosters, which is the third vaccine, or a vaccine after being fully vaccinated or after receiving your 2 doses. In terms of the population of children between the ages of 12 to 17 years, there's some 19% first doses and second doses at 17.3%. But we are doing well, my Straight Dog family. But please do not please do not put our guard or let our guard down. Still protect yourselves, wear your mask when necessary, keep your social distancing when necessary, and practice good hygiene. Wash your hands properly, sanitize your hands, and those are the tools that we will need, I'm sure, for a long time to come, my Straight Dog family. So, moving on, we look at our observations as well in review. And our observations in review is that time in the program, for those of you who may be unaware, when we do some reflection and establish what was accomplished, how has it helped others, what has changed since, what can be expected next, and what new have we learned as a people. And my Straight Dog family, we continue to follow all updates of news in St. Kitts and Nevis. And we learned, sadly, of a fire that engulfed the main compound of the Joshua Obadiah Williams Primary School in the village of Molyneux. That's within the Prime Minister's constituency, St. Christopher 7 to be exact. And that news broke at about 10 p.m. last Friday night, the 18th. And acting Fire Chief Hodge has said this to the media, my Straight Dog family, and we were, as I said, taken aback with this fire over there at Molyneux that caused extensive damage to the main compound of the Joshua Obadiah Primary School.
We asked about the leadership of the Team Unity government.
I apologize for that, my Straight Dog family. Yes, we are looking for that sound bite with the Joshua Obadiah Williams Primary School. And this is what Acting Fire Chief Hodge actually said to the nation.
The Basti Fire and Rescue Services Unit responded in assistance to the Tabernacle Fire Unit. Both units were engaged in extinguishing the fire. The cause of the fire is yet unknown. However, an investigation shall be launched in determining the exact cause of the fire. At this point in time, we cannot confirm any injuries or fatalities.
And in fact, An investigation was launched on that particular fire and its cause, and we heard this today from Radio ZIZ. Sad news.
Nationally, the police say the fire at the Joshua Obadiah Williams Primary School on Friday night was intentionally carried out, and the search for the perpetrator or perpetrators is underway. Assistant Commissioner of Police with responsibility for crime, Andre Mitchell, visited the scene with a team of senior investigators on Saturday. ACP Mitchell described the fire as a malicious act, saying, quote, "Preliminary investigations so far have revealed that the fire was no accident. We have identified the areas in which several fires were lit. I am dismayed with the extent to which a person or persons have gone to damage an institution of learning which caters to our children. A vigorous investigation is being conducted to find and bring to justice the person or persons responsible for this crime." Meanwhile, the police are offering a reward of $35,000 for information that leads to the arrest and a successful prosecution of the person or persons responsible for the fire.
Yes, very sad news. In fact, my straight dog family, and what I call an attack on the future of St. Kitts and Nevis, an attack on the youth in the Molyneux area. And we just trust and hope that those perpetrators will be brought to justice. In the interim, in the meanwhile, Acting Minister of Education, the Honorable Vincent Juicy Byron, along with Ministry of officials, should have met yesterday, Sunday, with parents and teachers to discuss temporary accommodation for students attending that school, according to William Hodge, the Permanent Secretary, who had this to say. Seem to
sure that teaching and learning continues, and so that will continue in the weeks ahead. We have made some initial plans which will be discussed with the parents and will be made public at a meeting tomorrow afternoon, Sunday afternoon at 5 o'clock. A meeting will be held at the Mulfield building so that parents can be properly informed as to how we're going to house the students.
Well, my straight dog family, we understand that meeting was held, and we will wait with a bated breath in terms of the police report and the adjustments being made to accommodate learning of our youth over there in the Molyneux area. I also learned, or Straight Talk also learned, of another fire in the Bird Rock area within my constituency at the Kim Collins Stadium. But we understand that the ticket booth was destroyed, but we are grateful nonetheless that there were no casualties in these two fires, and we also hope that, as I said, the perpetrators will be brought to justice. Where's that coming from, you ask yourself, my straight dog family? Going forward, today makes 3 weeks since the Russian invasion of Ukraine, and things have gotten worse for civilians. It is the biggest assault on a European state, it is claimed, since World War II. That has caused the largest refugee crisis in Europe since World War II, with over 3.3 million Ukrainians fleeing their country since the start of the war. Straight Talk stands with the international community and continues to condemn this invasion and pray that Russia will once and for all adhere to the resolution adopted by the United Nations General Assembly that demanded a full withdrawal of Russian forces from Ukraine. And those are the latest observations in review tonight, and Straight Talk will keep you posted on these and other stories as they develop. Tonight, nonetheless, we go straight into our discussion. And I crave your participation as we discuss what I hope would be an interesting topic under the caption, Government of the People, by the people, for the people, that I have labeled that way. Government of the people, by the people, and for the people. And the words government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth, were expressed by Abraham Lincoln in 1863 at the National Cemetery in Gettysburg in honor of the soldiers that sacrificed, I should say, their lives back then. That's nigh 160 years, if my mathematics are correct. When these words apply, nigh 160 years thereafter, these words apply as well to the countless soldiers and people around the world that have also died, those who continue to die for the cause of democracy. But when I look at the current political gymnastics occurring in my beloved country, these words continue to echo in my mind like an ambulance siren as it speeds to respond to an emergency. For that reason, I now recommend those words to all politicians in St. Kitts and Nevis, whether they are inside or outside of government. There is an enraged focus, it seems, on who will be the next Prime Minister, for example, when the focus should be on the plight of the people. As a matter of fact, no one has an inherent right to become Prime Minister, because that is a decision for the people. And Queen's Counsel Tony Ross, E. Anthony Ross, could not have said it better when he said this, my Straight Talk family.
Ridiculous position. If the prime ministership is a lollipop that children can pass around and just get a lick and a lick and a lick.
Hear this again.
Ridiculous position being taken by people who know better, as if the prime ministership is a lollipop that children can pass around and just get a lick and a lick and a lick.
Very interesting perspective by Queen's Counsel Ross. But my Straight Talk family, power belongs to the people, and successors to leadership cannot dictate to the people. They must instead go to the people. I therefore submit that in order for our democracy to function properly, it is necessary that the team unity government, and any other government for that matter, respects the will of the people and take them seriously, I may add. And I mean the will of not only those that have voted for the team unity government, but those who can vote in the next election. And for the avoidance of doubt, I may add, that the will of all the people of St. Kitts must be respected. Furthermore, if we ignore our history, we would be more likely to make mistakes. Although we ought to learn something from our mistakes. However, some of us do not learn those lessons well enough at times. All of us must have heard of our first national hero, Sir Robert Llewellyn Bradshaw. But many of us may be too young to remember when Bradshaw went to the Federal Parliament in 1968, I think it was, and Southwell became Prime Minister. Upon collapse of the short-lived West Indies Federation, Bradshaw returned to St. Kitts and Southwell quietly stepped aside because Bradshaw was the leader by the will of the people. And some, like my grandmother used to say, Papa Bradshaw, give me shoes. Bradshaw died in 1978. Many would remember when Dr. William Valentine Herbert, also known as Billy Herbert, the founder and political leader of the People's Action Movement, he was rejected numerous times by the people. But Billy never said he will be the next premier. He stepped aside for the young Dr. Kennedy Simmons, who then became our first Prime Minister in 1983 by the will of the people. Sadly though, his chief advisor Billy Herbert disappeared in the early 90s. Then he fired his deputy Michael Powell without explanation to date. And by 1995, Simmons lost the will of the people. Next came another young doctor, Denzel Llewellyn Douglas. And by the will of the people, Douglas ruled for nigh 20 years. And mark you, I am not promoting another 20 years for anyone, but that is our history. Douglas, absorbed by the power of incumbency, started to rule by his BlackBerry. So in 2015, he too lost the will of the people. Now we have another well-loved leader, Timothy Sylvester Harris, by the will of the people. And I submit that however long Prime Minister Harris continues to serve as leader of the Federation would be determined by the will of the people. The people said this a few years ago, my Straight Dog family. The people said this a few years ago.
And we asked specifically about how the Prime Minister was managing the whole affairs of the government. And over 60% of the persons that we interviewed felt positive about the leadership or gave him a good passing grade. A significant number, at least a third of all persons interviewed, felt that he was in fact doing a very good job. Overall, therefore, there is some level of satisfaction with the way in which Dr. Timothy Harris is actually leading the government of people of St. Kitts and Nevis.
And that's what the people said. That's what the people said about Timothy Harris. A few days ago, a well-known economist and illustrious daughter of St. Kitts and Nevis, who worked as an international civil servant within the United Nations system, I believe, she had this to say about Dr. Harris as well.
And I think it is good that the Prime Minister is a finance person. When it comes to the finance, I think he's doing a pretty good job, quite frankly. And I don't think many others could have done it as well at this point in time.
Yes, in a time like this, we need a good captain on board the ship of state. We need a good captain on board the MV Team Unity, I may add, my Straight Dog family. Yes, we need that captain on board the ship. Lest it run onto the rocks, my Straight Dog family.
Some timid souls tip ham, just say unity. Hell no!
Truth be told, When some are exhausting so much energy, though, my straight up family, and time with unimportant things, like which is the dominant party in government, or which party has the most seats, and who promised to serve 2 terms, and or who will be the next prime minister. The people are the only ones who can determine that. And right now, the people are craving the attention of every single member of the cabinet. The people don't need you to hang out your dirty linen or wash your clothes in the public. As a country, we are still recovering from an economic crisis of unprecedented proportions. The COVID-19 pandemic is still threatening to strain our health systems, widening socio-economic divides, and changing the strategic priorities of governments, civil society organizations, and private sector companies. The economic fallout of this crisis is dire. Markets are in freefall. Supply chains have been disrupted. Businesses are required to close or scale back operations, and thousands of people have lost their jobs and livelihoods as a result right here in St. Kitts and Nevis. It's been rough, or roughly 2 years, since the coronavirus outbreak sent shockwaves throughout the world, inclusive of the St. Kitts Nevis economy. While the labor market has slightly recovered and early financial losses are being reversed, many Kittitians and divisions still continue to face deep financial hardship. Heads of households have had trouble paying their bills since the coronavirus outbreak started. Those who could, dipped into savings or retirement accounts to make ends meet. And some had borrowed money from friends or family, or have received and are receiving foodstuff to make ends meet. Many who were laid off or terminated because of the coronavirus outbreak still remain unemployed. But it is said that when it rains, it pours, and things unfortunately will get worse as Russia's decision to launch a military offensive against Ukraine has sent shockwaves throughout the global economy. While its immediate impact has been felt in commodity, equity, and currency markets, the ripple effects are unlikely to end just there. Just on Friday last, editor-in-chief of The Economist newspaper, Zanny Minton Bidos, gave this response to a question on the global economic fallout from the Russian war in Ukraine from Tony Dukupil on CBS Mornings. And this is what the discussion was all about, and this was the response.
I'm very interested to know what you think about how these sanctions that we and the rest of the free world are levying against Russia could actually come back and land and be hard for us here.
You're right. Of course they are having an impact here. We've seen it in oil prices. We've seen it in gas prices. We've seen it in prices for a huge number of commodities. And the reason is that although Russia is only the world's 11th biggest economy, it is a commodity giant. It's a huge, huge producer of lots of these commodities. People are hurting when you go to the grocery store, when you go to the gas station. And that, if this conflict goes on, if these sanctions are on for longer, and particularly if Russia reacts and imposes more sanctions of its own, this is going to hurt people. And just one example, which is really, I find striking, Russia and Ukraine together are almost 30% of international sales of wheat. Wheat is absolute staple in tons of countries. And that's going to be really hit, not just because of sanctions and because ships can't get into the Black Sea, but because of the war. Nobody's planting any wheat in Ukraine right now. And so people think, my colleagues have looked at this, they think this is the biggest shock to global wheat markets since the First World War, potentially. Wow. So we're going to notice this when you go to the restaurant, when you go to the grocery store. People will feel more of this the longer it goes on.
And yes, we'll feel more of that, because wheat produces flour, bake our bread, and we love bread, don't we? If that is not bad, our own CBI program has now come under serious threat. I told you about the attempts in the European Parliament and the US Congress. And if these attempts are successful, it can literally obliterate, it can wipe out our CBI program, our major source of foreign direct investment. While I do not have the data on our own program, what can happen in Antigua and Barbuda gives us a sense, my straight talk family, of the predicament that we in St. Kitts Nevis may very well find ourselves in.
When we first started in 2014, by about 2015, 2016, I think we got up to about $200 million in 1 year. And that was because Antigua and Barbuda had access, visa-free access into Canada. And then after that, the program fell to about, I think, as low as $67 million in 1 year. And on average since then, we've been doing about $100 million. Now, if these countries are successful in undermining our CIP program, then I have to tell you it's going to create significant problems for the OECS currency union countries. In the case of Antigua and Barbuda, about 10% of our revenue, or maybe if I'm exaggerating, no more than probably 12-15% comes from CIP. But in some countries within the sub-region, the CIP contributes up to 50% of the annual revenue. So you can imagine the impact on those countries.
Could you imagine the impact on our own country, my straight talk family, if our program is undermined and decimated or obliterated by these new bits of legislation? Let's keep in prayer. Inflation is looming. Expect high prices on gas and groceries. But remember, my straight dog family, the ship nearly ran aground. The ship nearly ran aground just before 2015. Do you remember that? Yes. We nearly ran aground back then. Public debt was too high to put the ship on dry dock. Crime was so rampant, the sailors were afraid to come ashore. Then came the coronavirus. Luckily, the country had already recruited a new captain. The ship is getting ready to sail with the new captain on board. If you are the first officer, get on board. If you are the engineer, get to the engine room. If you are the cook, go to the galley. All you deckhands, find your positions. We have a good captain who will make sure that our ship, the MV Team Unity, would never run aground. Look at what we achieved, my straight dog family. Look at what we achieved. All of us in St. Kitts Nevis agree that Unity brought great benefits to St. Kitts and Nevis. Some want me to hush, but I am going to talk the truth, ambassador or not. I was born, raised, and still live in East Bastille. So your fundamental rights and mine are fully protected by the Constitution of St. Kitts and Nevis. One of those rights is freedom of expression. In any true democracy, the power lies in the people, and that is the only way you will have a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. Should the people decide who shall be Prime Minister, my straight dog family? Do you think it's time, don't you think it's time we focus on the people's issues? You have other questions and comments as well on the government of the people, by the people, and for the people. But that's my story for tonight, and I am not going to change it. What I'll do instead is go to the lines and entertain your calls and your emails. Remember, I said we do have two numbers, 663-6672, beg your pardon, and 829-6672 as well. Let me get you those numbers again. It's 663 for those of you in St. Kitts, 6672, and or 829 or 8. Let me get that right. 646-829-6672. My Straight Talk family. The lines are open. I'll entertain your calls and your emails. I always like to implore you, when I do so, respect others. And of course, to achieve that, you must first respect yourselves. Let us try to be fair to all concerned. Let us try to build goodwill and better friendships. Let us, in the process, as we continue to advance our country, strive to build a kinder, gentler St. Kitts and Nevis. I will go to the lines again, 663-6672. That's the number to call, my Straight Talk family, and we'll entertain your calls right here on Straight Talk. Remember, we need a government of the people, for the people, and by the people. Let's go to the lines, my Straight Talk family. Caller, you are live. Caller, you live.
Mr. Liebert, good evening. How are you, sir?
I am peaceful, sir. Yourself?
You're looking very spiffy tonight.
Thank you.
You have a problem. I don't know what you did, Mr. DuPont, but he got you too, in his throat. What have you got to say about that?
Could you repeat that? I didn't quite get your caller.
Mr. Liebert, I did not stutter. I said Licky Bud got it in for you. What have you done, that gentleman?
Caller, a lot of people have spoken to me about the captain, okay? And I want to say, for the whole world to hear, I admire Captain Licky Bird. I admire him because he has come a long way. And I am part responsible for his progress. But I don't want to be commenting on him, because I've always applied what I call the Mark Twain theory, which is you never argue with a fool lest you have to come down to his level and he'll beat you by experience. And I want to make this abundantly clear, because quite a lot of people are calling me about this individual and attacking me. But I also want to ask you, though, right? Because as a young boy growing up, dogs have a way. I'm not saying that he's a dog, not for one moment, but dogs have a way of running after vehicles and barking. But while the dogs bark, the vehicles move. Are you aware of that? Have you seen that? Why do you think the dogs bark?
I am not that young to remember dogs chasing cars, Mr. Liebert. Can you tell me why?
That's some homework for you to do, my brother. Have yourself a good night.
Thank you, sir.
But dogs always bark after vehicles. It's a very good, interesting position. Yes, my Straight Talk family again, 663-6672. That's the local numbers. The other number again is 646-829-6672. The local number, my dear brother, is 663-6672 is the number. Again, we are looking tonight at the government of the people, for the people, or by the people and for the people. It's a saying that dates back nigh 160 years ago, my Straight Talk family. And I know, I see Alvo, you're giving me that signal, Alvo. And here's what I will I'll take this call. Caller, you're live. Yes, caller? Are you there, caller? Yes, caller, you're live. Hello, caller? Just speak to the telephone caller. Are you there, caller?
Minister, right? And PLP got to stand. And PLP is the strongest thing that we could achieve, and we know
yes, caller.
what we're about.
Yes, caller.
And I'm very proud
of
the way that the Prime Minister has himself.
I'll take yours. I'll take yours. Yes, you're live. Yes, you're live. Go ahead, caller. Yes, caller.
You hear me?
Yes, I'm hearing you loud and clear.
All right, okay then. So I'm just saying that then we have something to do. We have to finish. Okay? The PLP is international. All right? And the PLP have to stand. Right? Don't have to try to embarrass our Prime Minister. And things like this here. That's like Russia and Ukraine. And things like this here. We do not really want that kind of war. We want to believe in God. And I'm asking the citizens of St. Kitts and Nevis to rally behind Timothy. Because I find out that Timothy is a God-sent man for the country as a Prime Minister. And I'm asking you to come back and run also. And
yes, caller. Yes, caller. You're live.
Patches, I just want to thank God for life, thank God for the Federation of St. Kitts Nevis, a country where we're doing so well. And Patches, human being is one thing, but we, as cornerstone citizens of the Federation, we got to just do what we got to do to defend our country and defend the government when they're doing right. Patches, I am playing that in this country of ours, that many things are said, but I believe that this unity government was a God-sent government for the people of this country. And I believe that this was the right time. This was a government for the people. But I do know what went wrong. You hear, you come like, them say, and I kind of hear say, fake news and I kind of thing to our leaders' head, and especially those who elect into government to run the affairs of our country. All kind of thing get in the head from the opposition side, and all kind of fake news and all kind of thing, and they run with these things. And now we look like, you see, our unity government is crumbling, but not by the people who elect the government. The people who elect, it look like it's them, want to scramble this government. But I do not believe it's going to work out like that. So I just call in these men who we elect, educated men. Work out where you are, got to work out for the better of our country. You all see where the world going. You see how kind of different things happening in the world. Every day the supermarket, them things going high sky. And they say because of the war, gas going up, all kind of things going up. So elected members in parliament and in cabinet who we elect, You all look and the Prime Minister Dr. Harris. You all get together and straighten out where you are straighten out to get this country going, because you all start good, you know. You all start good, and I do know the problem. We ain't all kind of thing about fear shade, that's an all kind of negative thing, especially from the opposite side, and it look like we, the man who elect, taking all kind of nonsense and peddling it and trying to backbite the Prime Minister with these things, that is, and it ain't fair. We elect you all to do our work and do the work good and fair. Forget about all these people who are on the radio talking all the nonsense. Yeah? If they didn't love the country, do not be able to talk all kind of ignorance against, especially our Stingray program. But what is when they get back in again and come back and talk about the Stingray program? What is our wonderful name? May God bless.
As well, my dear brother. And again, the new numbers are 663-6672. 663-6672 and or 646-829-6672. We're also using those ZIZ numbers in the meanwhile. You know them well, but we do also have our new numbers, our additional numbers, I should say. Again, 663-6672 and or 646-829-6672. Those are the new numbers. We are I've opened the lines. We are hearing from you as we look at a government of the people, for the people, and by the people. I go to the lines. Yes, caller, you are live. Caller, you're live. Yes, caller. Yes, caller. Hello, caller. Yes, caller, you live. Are you there, caller? Yes, caller, you live. Caller, you live. Hello, caller. Hello, caller.
Yeah. Mr. Patrick, good night.
Good night, my brother. Good night, my brother.
How are you? I'm sitting down in my house and listening to you.
Good to hear you. Good to hear you.
And Patrick, it is so wonderful to hear you. Patrick, you really do what God tells you to do, hear me? And you're going to be blessed of all blessing. And a lot of people don't know God. But one of these days they will find out. And it's in First Timothy chapter 3, it says, in the last days, perilous time shall come. I want this first Timothy, but it is in Timothy. It says, in the last days, perilous times shall come. Man shall be loved of themselves. You understand? And holy and thankful, without natural affection. So, people, we are living in the last days, and people is going to be boastful. people's going, all kind of things going to happen, Mr. Patrick. So, Mr. Patrick, I am not going to stay too long on the telephone, so have a pleasant night.
Entertaining your calls. We are entertaining your emails as well. I know some people are trying to call me on that please hold it. Just please hold on the line, and then we'll come to you after. But let's go back to the lines, Alva. If you're there, I'll take this call. You are live, caller. You're live.
Hello, Patrick, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know what it is people are making so much noise behind. The Prime Minister is doing a good work. The only thing I don't like what they're saying about this Nevis Accord can be squashed. I don't like that. To tell you the truth, I don't like it. But they're making nice to go in the house. For the Prime Minister's seat, if he go in the house and sign this two-term thing, the Prime Minister could turn back on them and say, well, okay, those 2 terms what I had before is squashed. So I can get another my first 2 term will be now. And he's going to be serving for 4 years, so they better sit down and wait on the Prime Minister to see what he's going to do. I don't think the Prime Ministers have such a wicked heart to tell them 2 terms Prime Minister, and then he's going to take another term. I don't believe that. But all they have to do is wait. Wait is what the Lord said. Wait upon the Lord and you will renew your strength. So they just have to wait on him, see what he's going to do, and everything will be all right, because I don't like the sound of this here. I don't like it. When we joined with unity, it was a very peaceful thing. And I want to see these people come back together. I want to see them back together, peaceful, like 2050. That's what I would like to see them do. And may the Lord be with them, because as I used to tell you, my grandmother used to say, with government what it is. So we just have to sit and wait. He's not doing nothing that nobody like. Everybody like the Prime Minister. So let him do his term. Let him do his term. He said next election is 25. When 25 comes, then they will see what he does. So I hope they get that work out. Just for the people. You have a good night and enjoy your balance of the night, and be careful going home. Bye.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Caller, you have yourself. Caller, you have yourself well. A good night as well. And like I said, it's by the will of the people. Let's go back to the lines. A caller, you are live. Are live. Yes, caller. Yes, caller. Yes. Yes.
Good night.
Good night, my dear.
How are you?
I am peaceful. I am peaceful.
Sean family.
How are you? How are you?
Glad to hear your voice. Sean family.
Yes.
From Sunny Point, Tito.
Yes, in Saddlers. Yes, in Saddlers.
Yes. Big up Sean, big up the Prime Minister and the team, and he's doing a good job. And Shasha bought the yesterday. Big her up. And I had a wonderful time for mine, the 12th of March. After lunch, up by Ronnie's place. God bless you all. And the team, thank you. I love Sean. Love you too. and the Prime Minister.
Love you more, my dear. Let's go back to the lines. Caller, you're live. You're live.
Love you.
Love you more. Love you more.
Bless up. Thanks.
Okay, caller. Okay, caller. Yes, caller, you live. Yes, caller, you live.
Good evening, Honorable. It is the whole conflict, what we're hearing and what's going on. Now, the PM never tell nobody that he wanted 3 terms. The hearsay and hearsay. They ain't give the man a chance to spend out the 2 terms and then attack the man. Well, that's life. You know, I think he reached to a point, this is my opinion, right? What gone bad already can come good. It's not a husband and wife where property and all them kind of thing is involved. It's not your child where you've got shares to give them and things to give them. These are big educated men. They tried to embarrass the Prime Minister and they think they were successful. But they embarrassed themselves because the world look at them as that they're so greedy over power and money that they are not successful in what they're doing. And all of this come from the Ramgo DJ. The Ramgo DJ going around the place and talking about the Prime Minister like the Prime Minister never existed as nobody. Just because he can't get what he wants. You know, catches you learn the Ramgo DJ English already, you know. You understand me? That's the Ramgo DJ, you learn him English already. But he comes so big now in English that he think he could talk out his head all the time. But pay him no mind. Left him all behind. Left him there. Because what he going on with, he gonna regret it. And for the people, I think it's a Nevis who gave him the $5 and the $3 and the $10 and all you overseas who sending all your money here to interrupt with our good government we had running. I think it's a shame on all you. It's shame on all you right now to see how you all treating the Federation. I think it's a Nevis by a puppy show on a radio station, a DJ, a donkey DJ, and I'm sorry, the goat DJ, ram goat DJ. You understand me? Who coming on and making all kind of problem for the Prime Minister and his colleagues and them. But all of them who is following him, they're going to bite it. They're going to bite it. You see, the Prime Minister is there, you know. He ain't believe in incest. So them who believe in incest, keep the dirtiness to themselves and let the Prime Minister move on and go and live his life and support the Federation. I think it's a need. God bless you, Patrick. God bless our Prime Minister. And Saturday, bell gun toll.
Bell's gonna toll. Wonder which bell. Let's go back to the lines. A caller, you are live. Live.
Yes, good evening, Honorable Patrick. I didn't get in last week because you call us them take long to talk. So now me turn to talk. I want to know what happened to St. Kitts and Nevis. Nevis wanted to write like how we got a traffic light in St. Kitts, and they want other different things. So when we showing up on Nevis with these things, that's why they calling for money, that they could build up the country too. But remember Mr. Button, they said, you ain't get them born in the rice, but you ain't get them no born in the rice, you get them good money. So you got to start out that and let the children when they go to school, that they feel good, not ding dong and ding dong with politics. And you have a good night, How you don't call me? Have a good night. Take care.
Are you there, caller? Are you there, caller? Yes, I've got one, Alva. I've got one. Are you there, caller? Not hearing you at all. Yes, caller, you're live. Afraid I'm not hearing that caller there at all. Are you there, caller? Can you hear me? Okay, I'm having some difficulty with that call. Yes. In the teething problems with our lines, bear with us, caller, perhaps have to. If you call back, I'll see if I get you again live. Just try that number one more time, caller. Yes, try that number one more time, caller. But as we wait on the caller, we have to always remember our history. Many of us ignore our history. And if we do ignore history, we would make mistakes. Although we ought to learn from our mistakes. However, some of us do not learn those lessons well enough at times. Let's go to the lines, caller. You are live.
Good evening, Patches. Marshall Lewis here from all the way in SP Sunday Point.
Where the best be. Where the best be.
Where the best be, yes. Patches, Lord, we had a wonderful health walk on Saturday. Wow. The
walk or you drive?
Walk or you drive? We had thousands of people. Patches, miss out this big health walk what we had on Saturday. Thousands of people was on the road shouting, Harris again, Harris again, Harris again. But anyhow, Patches, I just stopped by to say tonight that I'm inviting one and all to the biggest, best convention on Saturday. This Saturday coming, and we're going to see the orange, we're going to orange out Bastille. Because the people showing that PLP is his newest party on the block, but is the best party, it's the biggest party. Also, the Prime Minister, who is heading this party, the whole entire world love this Prime Minister so bad. We went to church on Sunday at the Rivers, and this little child, 4 years, crying to take a picture with the Prime Minister. Children, everybody loved the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister is a man who loves people, who loves poor people, because he came from humble beginnings. And this man is a man that has sent by God, Patches, for such a time as this, to run this Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. And you know what I am so alike about the Prime Minister? He's calm, he's collective, he holds his composure, and he ignores the noise. At the convention, the PAM convention, he sat there and he just ignored the noise because he is the bigger man and he is the top dog. And I just want to say tonight, long live Prime Minister Dr. Timothy Harris, long live People's Labour Party, PLP, and I know, without a shadow of doubt, I know that he is doing a tremendous job. I just want to pinpoint, before I go quickly, the amount of attribute, the trophy that he has. My Prime Minister, your Prime Minister have the biggest trophies in the Federation. The biggest trophies in the Federation for the past 30 years as other Prime Minister, like the different Prime Minister, Simmons and Douglas. You know, the Prime Minister is a third sitting Prime Minister, but he come from third to fourth because the things what he is doing for the people of St. Kitts and Nevis, the $500, the $1,000, new homes. Look at Old Road Bay. Sometime when I'm going to work, I used to scared to drive across Old Road Bay. And Patches, you have a hand in Old Road Bay too, you know. And, you know, when I'm driving across Old Road Bay right now, I could drive in one style. The other day, I drive across like on the highway in New York. And these are the things. The new police station right down here in Sandy Point, all those old breakdown mash-up station, what was here under the Labour government, he come in and he fix. That is a fixed Prime Minister, man, that do things fix. And now, look at the stoplights. And now we can boast, I can boast, and said, wow, St. Kitts is a place to be. St. Kitts is a place to be. Other people want to trade my Prime Minister. Other people want saying, give me, the other day I went overseas and a lady was saying, give me your Prime Minister. Let me take your Prime Minister. And you take my Prime Minister. I said, no. I want my Prime Minister. I love my Prime Minister. And that's why you see I'm proud tonight on the phone to speak so well about my Prime Minister. Because this man is doing a good job. His heart is clean and his hand is pure. No matter what nobody say about him, I'm gonna continue praising up my Prime Minister. Because indeed he's doing a good job. And if you look back at the health walk on Saturday, you must know all young, middle-aged, everybody join the PLP train right now. Everybody come in. I can't get no room. I got to hold on to my Prime Minister because people want to take my Prime Minister from me. That's how the people love him. And Patches, this man is doing a good job. What do I want the man to do? Take out his heart and give them? Take out his heart and give them the Prime Minister leading the country good. And he's leading without fear or favor. He helping PAM, CCM, NRP, and Labour. Everybody he helping. And he's he have a good heart. And the step of a good man are ordered by the Lord. And God going to continue guide his step and order his step. I'm looking Sunday coming next week, Sunday. We start off with church. And we're going to end it with church. Because he believes in God. People saying on the radio, oh, every Sunday he going to church. Because I heard him said time after time when he giving his testimony in church that he used to go to Sunday school. His mother used to send him Sunday school. His parents used to send him Sunday school. And when he was small and every Sunday he had to go from church to church. What they want the man to do? If the man going to church because he accustomed to go to church. So Mr. Patches tonight, and I still want to place on record, if you don't like my leader, I don't like your leader. And Patches, he have some people, when they find seem as though, I heard a lady come by me to the ball-in, saying, because she with PLP, she cow cut and she water cut. I entertained her today for about 2 hours, chat with her and help thing out, come in and went in, give her a malt and me sit down up there and me talking about politics. This nonsense have to stop. This nonsense have to stop. I really don't know what is the problem. What is the problem? This nonsense and this Facebook attack, and there's a lot. I want to speak lastly about this fake profile coming on, abusing. There a morning time I get up and I listen to a certain radio station, and these people with the fake profile abusing me. But I'm not going to entertain those kind of things. Abusing and them kind of things. If you talk about politics, I will talk because I love politics. For years now I'm in this thing. Years now I'm in my politics thing. But if you're going to start to hide behind fake profile and abuse me, I am not going to entertain. Because abusing out of style. So I just want to say, Patrice, you have a blessed night. And may the Lord bless and keep you. And may the Lord cause his face to shine upon you and give you, Patrice, peace. Because you is one who put a lot of make things happen here in St. Kitts. The old road bed, that's your project. The roads, airport, all these are your projects. So you too indeed you have a lot of trophy here. The lot of work you have done when you was a minister of this and a minister of that. So I know what's going on. I myself ignoring the noise when people try to bring down your character. Because I know you're an intelligent man. And I know that you know what you're doing. So Patrice, have a blessed good night and you get home safe. And I love my Prime Minister, Dr. Timothy Harris, from the sky and back. And I will continue be a PLP until God take me off this earth. Long live Team PLP, People's Labour Party. Long live Dr. Timothy Harris. Love you all. And may God bless you. Peace out.
God bless you as well. I want to thank this caller. You're live. Take this caller. I'll take this caller. Caller, you live. Let's call him.
Good evening, good night to each and everyone, wherever the time zone fits.
Yes, caller, you live. Yes,
Mr. Patches, I will adopt the protocol that you requested with discipline and honor. No rudeness. Plain and clear. Now, first of all, I would like to elaborate on the Molyneux incident. I am deeply sorry, and I regret that such a thing did not happen.
I'll take this call. I'll take this call. Somebody call. I'll take this call from Call you live.
Okay. Is it me again?
Yes, you're
live. Thank you.
Yes, you're live.
I am deeply sorry and wish that the incident at Molyneux Primary School did not happen. I am disturbed. I am upset that an arsonist has taken this devastating act upon my people. And I pray that the perpetrator will be brought to justice. In addition to the reward that been announced, I personally will like to get the source that offered that award, and I will add $1,000 on it. So the count that I heard was 35. I will give another 1,000 AC, that make it 36. And I wish that others could even contribute $1 to bring that devious person to justice. And I hope it will not go to rest. Never, never, never. Never. All right, moving forward. Like I said, adopt your protocol in not defamating anyone on the air. And if I could recall a while ago, Brother Rock, I love you, but I don't like when you call a certain person ram goat or anything. That's defamation of character. It is what it is, but that does not sound good over the year. And you got to adopt the host protocol with due respect, sir. So I wish in the future you will do that. Because maybe you can get your fury out, but don't do it over the year.
Okay,
do not defamate a man's character. He is what he is. She is what she is. Leave it as that, with due respect once again. I know this choice trade talk, but as I reiterate, we got to stop beating up on each other.
Okay, you said that several times. What's the other point? What's the other point, caller? What's the other point? What's the other point? Make another point.
The other point is,
yes.
I wish that my people can stop beat up on each other. Everyone is not going to do good, and everyone not going to be bad. Let us take the good that is. Stop the beating up. And I will yield for other calls to come in, but I will try again because I have 2 more. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much for your time. I'll just hold a second for me. 1 second for me. 1 second for me. Let's try this again. Caller, are you there, caller? Are you there, caller? Are you there, caller? Are you there, caller? Okay. Let me take you out. Let me take you back to ZIZ. I'll go back to ZIZ. Caller, you're live.
Yeah, you hearing me?
Yes, caller. Yes, caller.
Okay, good evening, and good evening, all the listeners. I just want to say thankful to God for everything. Now let me start with the school. Now, whosoever went and did what they did to that school, I just pray to God that they will be caught and bring to swift justice. And like my friend Nabu said this morning, put them in jail for life. Put them in jail for life because they know the amount of children mind that they traumatize for the rest of their life. To know that the school where they go to learn, to come up and be whatever they want to be in the world. Some idiot go there and try to destroy that. Well, I want to say this now. The only 2 buildings that the government has used in a school is the Bastille Grammar School, let me call it that, which we call the Bastille High School up Taylor's. Those 2 long wooden buildings. And I am suggesting, as when we don't talk tonight here, that the government or whosoever put some soldiers, army men up there to guard those 2 buildings. Because all the other government schools are wall. And people are so malicious. They will do anything these times here. Look where I went up to Kim Collins. Kim Collins truck. Go start the little fire up there, but thank God the place ain't burned down. And I am suggesting no one has no right to be in Kim Collins truck before the sun rise. Nobody going there because they got some people with some crazy blood in their head. Just go up there all at 3 o'clock, set the jacket and truck. And they are the ones who are against the government. And they decide they will do anything to destroy Timothy. Dr. Timothy Harris, the Prime Minister. I don't know what he has done to them. But his name, your name, me culture name, rock name and politics name, it seems as though our name is oxygen that one has to breathe inside his lungs to keep him alive. Well, I don't know for you all, but my name is not P-A-T-E-N-T and any oxygen. Okay? It's not there. So I don't know why they have to be using our name to try to defame us, defame the Prime Minister and the country and spreading lies. And partner, I'm sorry for you, but nobody gonna knock me. And he goes, so I gonna hit you back verbally. Hitting back, I will go to the court. That Ramgo DJ who come on this morning, every morning, he pan Patsy's name, rock name, and minium and politics. What have we done him? Nothing. That is what he gonna use a radio station, read the Bible, when he don't go cuss and abuse, and call us all kind of derogative name. For what? And then asking poor people to bring money to come pay for his radio program. Educate the world, enlighten the world, inform the world with what to go on. Now let me go to another thing again here now. This thing here about Prime Ministership. I have never heard the Prime Minister said no time that he want 3 terms. Just like Marsha said, is the people them on the street saying it, the people them where the CEO who's supposed to approve an application for a job is the voters. So I don't know what is big talk about who want to be leader, who going to be prime minister, this and all kind of shit and fear shit. Come on, people. The next election is 3 years from now. And then Nevis has one close by. Let us focus on what we could do for the country. And done with this, who want to rule and who's supposed to move. And come down from there. But yes, I will love to come back from another doing it because I really had to deal with this Haitian thing in America. Anyway, let me talk it out quick. There's a little community in Miami they call Little Haiti. And practice anything that is negative and bad goes on right there. So when one individual is calling and telling people, oh, you could get this from his store to buy for this amount of money, that is small money compared to the original cost of what he's selling. So the people them there in there, they do the hot market and under the table market, and then this taxi man in Miami go and he purchase these things for next to nothing, and then he sell them down here to the individual who believe he's the richest man in town. And because of the value of what they cost up there, the people them who has to clear them, they know well then that he cannot make any money on them because of the cost and for what he's selling them here. So their observation eyes out there looking on to see what is going on. So when they think they could fool people with black market stuff and come here and sell people, let them watch out. Let them watch out. But anyway, I could help the government investigate on who went and commit that crime to the school. But I wouldn't say it in the ear. But it's something that God would like anybody to do. But I'll try and get back with something else. Thank you so long.
Thank you very much. My Straight Talk family. Let's go back to the lines. Call your line.
Greetings in the name of our great African ancestors, especially the most honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey and Queen Nzinga. Blessed evening, my beloved African brother. How are you, the family? Been a little while, brother. How is everything?
Yes, peaceful, my brother. Peaceful, well, yes. Listen, well, yes. You and your family. What about you and your family?
Good, man. Good. All is well, beloved. All is well, man. Now, my beloved brother, let me just say, right? Like I said this morning concerning the school there burning, school in Molineux. Hey, brother, I don't want no witch hunt. Just make sure you get the right individuals, brother, and give them life in prison without any power or the possibility of any power. They should rot in prison. Because anybody, any sane mind, gonna burn down, especially a school, beloved brother, with children, young children, 5 years and up, and 5 until 12, brother, it's just heartless, ain't got no concern, no love. People look like them, especially children, man. When you're gonna do those crimes against the elderly, the elders and children, the most vulnerable in our communities, beloved, you must be put away for life, beloved. Let me move on from that, beloved. I don't support any political party in St. Kitts Nevis at the moment. Used to support PAM, but I jumped off the ship since last year because of 2 individuals particularly, but which I don't name. Everybody know who they are. I ain't gonna give them no credence because they don't deserve that, beloved. They don't deserve that. I'll support individuals, beloved. And let me say, I, Brother Nabu, Brother Patches, decide which I will like you to do whenever next election calls to contest in constituency number 1. But hear me, either as candidate of PLP, that will be my first preference, as an independent. I will prefer CO thing as a PLP. And in number 2, but the Natal, the same way. I like to see him on the PLP ticket. If he decide to run as an independent, that's for now. Brother Nabu, I still stand with the Unity Administration, and I still stand with Dr. Harris as the Prime Minister. You know, sometimes I be critical, very critical of him and the administration when they don't do the right thing. But brother beloved, man have a good heart. He love people. No one can deny that. He love poor African people, financially poor African people. And he have shown that even when he was with the boy from St. Paul. He take care of constituency. Cannot think, but and this man still, and this brother still continues to this day. Like I said, he's not above criticism from me or anyone else. But most of the things he have done is in his best interest. Thank it's Nevis, beloved brother. And no one can deny that. I mean, who want to back and say this and say that, you know? Like I say, I'm not a member nor a supporter of the PLP, but if a sister or brother do the right thing for African peoples, brother, I will stand with that sister or brother any time, beloved brother, and that's my stance. Like I said, Dr. Harris is not above criticism. He ain't gonna do the right thing at all times. But who know who? All of us gonna come short sometime in our lives, beloved. So let me say, right? And if I was Dr. Harris, all of them, right, was said this and I said that, beloved brother. Dr. Harris is more loving, more popular. He come to the people who saying his Nevis, beloved brother, and they could never walk in Dr. Harris' shoes when it comes to intelligence, management, fiscal management, and good leadership, political leadership, beloved Dr. Harris. Like I say, I will criticize him when he needs to be criticized. Here, anyone else, beloved. But the brother is doing a good job so far. In some cases, an excellent job, beloved brother. So, you know, anyone who stand up for poor African people, let me repeat, I will stand with them at all times. Criticize them when they need to be criticized, and that's it, brother. So, my beloved sisters and brothers in St. Kitts and Nevis, they stand up for anyone who stand up for you, stand by their side. Anytime they're being attacked, and even in good times, they got to stand by them too. Not when their people verbally attack them or otherwise, beloved. Brother, thanks again for hearing me. Keep up the great works. Pan-Africanism will perish, my beloved brother.
One love, hold for me, Alba. Just hold for me, Alba. Just hold for me one minute. Let's go back to this line. Let's go back to this line. Are you there, caller? Are you there, caller? Are you there, caller? Yeah, I'm not getting that. Okay, let's go to ZIZ. Let's go to ZIZ. Caller, you're live.
Good night.
Good night, my dear. Good night, my dear.
Amen to Nabu. Amen to Nabu. Still, but good night. How are you?
I am peaceful.
How
Yourself?
was your weekend? How was
Restful.
your weekend?
Restful.
Thank God for my stay life thus far. Now we know what happened to the school. The government have to take warning, get security at all schools. None will just peep and go home. We can't afford another school. Please. They do that to get at the Prime Minister. He's standing strong, and it's unfair. You're not one with me. How you choose to be a devil? What I am saying is because of that school, my school. Get home safely. Harris again. Culture, good night.
Are you there, caller?
Oh. Hello.
We have some difficulty
Hello.
with that line. Let's
Patrick.
Yes.
Patrick, this is Dumpling speaking.
Yes, Dumpling, how are you?
Good night.
Good night, my dear.
I have something to come off of my chest. Do not cut me off. May go long. When I was 21 years and 3 months, I get a register, a yellow slip from down the post office. I think it is from one of my long-time boyfriends and a little change for me. Then I get a paper tell me go up to the back of the road by the court. I went in the court to get my name on the register slip to vote for Kennedy Simmons. And I made McIntosh and Loibot, a couple of them was in there. And they said, I from village. I never from village. I had a boyfriend up there by the name of Leroy Eddie, better known as Joy, one of the workers. You know him. And the man, they started to say, she can't get on. I said, please me worship, Mr. Redhead. Bap. I was going to go up the village for bap. And when I pass the morning time, I see you cleaning your yard or washing the car, give me a little mango. The man tell me on the voting list, and I vote for Simmons. That's when that the by-election. You understand? When you could not go in. Okay, me the big woman. If I want to vote for Timothy Harris, I love Pam, but Pam ain't do not for me. Me afraid to say so. The only thing to do for me, when Simmons win 1980, he come to Irish Town and he asked who all want work. And I went to hospital, because I want to go to hospital, and I walk up hospital. Until 95. Before 95, me and a certain lady up Newtown had a confusion, and I was to throw in the pan of water. And I asked this gentleman I'm married to the girl in Musgrave, please see if he get a work for me and move me before getting in trouble. And then Dr. Simmons called me and he tell me that electric lights want somebody, and I went on there and I walk. You understand? When Labour get in power, they turned me over in 38 years. And I was keep on putting in for house. Miss Sheila Reynolds used to pull up my paper. And Phipps saying, give me none. He abused, he said, all kind of thing. I went in the place in the back, he must slap a day. And he, up to now, me get a house from them to fool me. Patrick, you know why you're saying these things? 2014, when Labour was doing the first at the house, them up Point Garden, my daughter put in for one. That's why she used to be down St. Paul's with she family, them rebel them. And she put in one. They call from up NAC and they say, you have to come up here to put your name on the paper with your daughter because you can't hear none because you're going for 62. Well, I know they ain't going to give me none. You understand? To hide the little girl paper when Unity bill this one where she get because A money B is she house. And they put down my daughter get a house, I piece of land from Labour. And the fourth my daughter took my other daughter to come and put on she name and then she put me name on that she won. After they tell her they're going to take the land, she said, oh, why don't take me land? I know you don't pay for me land. Not me, take me name after that and my name. My son, everybody know him, Big Bell. He full out the paper. He full out the paper patches. And they take his land. And he come down the Irish school for me. Mommy, you could put on my name and my man in the paper. I said, why not me? I had to leave the people this is them and went up NAC with him in his jeep. When go up, they're going round and round.
And take it in. He said, no, not take it because 1 million going for me lawyer them. And back. That's when he believed his mother ain't do it. That is not me. I went on Church Street and I see Mr. Harris. And Mr. Harris tell me, I said, Mr. Harris, my daughter put him for a house. And back, which you know, he don't talk to Elrito. My daughter asked the representative for Central. My mother ain't getting no house. He said, no, she near me in there. But Elrito was the bigger boss, and Timothy was the bigger boss. They sent me up here before the house done. Say 6 units. My daughter really put in for the house. She was in Anguilla. And they said, choose the one you want. And I watched from number 1 down to number 6. I said, I want to take this number 6 because it big like me, the land big like me. And I called the Prime Minister and I tell him what I want. And then when Lee, everybody know Lee meet me down by my studio, down by the ferry terminal, and he give me a paper. Say, I have to go Point Garden for the opening of the house. Now, when I reach up, they say, you're going to cut the ribbon. That's another thing I'm proud of them to do for me because I went on the whole world. Like I was on British Airways when I was going to England 2000 and 2003 and 2004. And I cut my ribbon. And 3 days after I done the school, I get a call and they say, come, you walk with $4,000. I said, I come in. Where's your daughter? I said, she on pylon. And I went up by the little bank up there where the boy run them place, big credit union. And I just $5,000, Patrice. 5. And they charge me for the house and I pay for it. They ain't give me no house, it's Timothy. You understand? But these two vagabonds and these 10 people walking and calling me name and saying, oh, me and great. Patrick, me could go down the line, you know. When Simmons stopped resign from running, they give me an invitation to go over by this clear man he did know. He had a hotel and dance place over Keysway. And when I reach, a usher take me from the gate, properly dressed in a Patrick. And by the name of Richard dope me here. And when I reach, I put me by a seat. Patrick, when I reach in, a certain lawyer, called the people, and the one, come and say, get it from there, yeah, it belongs to you. Patrick, make a noise. I rest the invitation on the table, and I turn off. Walk coming across the road, when you look at the wet down, I hear some of them by the gate, dumpling, Manos, where you going? Come. The Prime Minister Dr. Simmons want to talk to you. May look back because I want to know if he's jump because of me. I see a light coming and when I look at your bus, Monroe picked me up and he dropped me straight on the dumpling and I explained to him. Me had it rough with some people. Let me vote for who I want to vote or you leave me. Some people leave me. They ain't give me no house. They give me daughter. Leave me alone. Leave me. Whoever they put in Central Bass, you know, I'm running. This is the 3rd, 4th, 5th. I say I'm going to run. I ain't want running for who. Ain't want me. And then everybody know the history with my daughter with the walk up in Lindsey Grant them office. I please leave me alone and get off a dumpling him. Say, good night, Patrick. This is dumpling.
Good night, Dumpling. Ask to tell your story. Allowed you to tell your story. That's a long story. But you have to give in to your feelings. That's what street talk is all about. I go straight back to Linus Caller. You're live.
Mr. Ian Patches Liber, greetings to you, brother.
My brother. Greetings.
And how are you?
I am peaceful. Yourself?
I'm very, very good. Listening to the program as usual. Very hefty program. Government of the people, for the people, by the people. That's called for unity. And unity shouldn't be used as a for an occasion. When persons involve themselves in a unification group or team, all the individual persons to throw off the old coat and refresh their thoughts with new ideas, because unity is a different level to party politics. You know, unity embraces everyone, everything, and unity shake off the sins that you had. You know, you become clean. You strive for that cleanliness. That's why the Bible says, ye must be born again. You know, you can't carry the same mantle when you say you dealing with a unified team. And even though we always say someone being God sent, even though you're being God sent, you also have to be examined, because the Bible says you got to examine or question things within righteousness. The question I want to ask you, Mr. Patches, you've been a farmer, because from listening from the presenters at the PAM convention and the lyrics that been poured out there, I said I would ask you this question openly. You being a part of the cabinet before the last election, and what is the relationship within the cabinet with the Prime Minister and the other members of cabinet, including yourself at the time? Because many times when he comes to the public, he always says he gets the support from his cabinet. So I take it that the policies that's implemented for the people is a cabinet decision. So how you say the relationship between the cabinet and the members with the Prime Minister? Because you see, Mr. Patrick, I leave it to answer the question and I'm finished. We are living in spiritual times, and as a people, we have to find ourselves. And for we to find ourselves, we must strive for unity. We look up there with the war with Russia. I mean, the nations have to be thinking in a unified way to get rid of the skirmish. You know, and if we as a people, and we say we are Christian-minded people, and we can find ourselves being a Christian by doing what is right, we'll be heading ourselves for destruction. Mr. Patches, have a good night, and you'll continue to be strong. Because we have the template to go forward, Mr. Patches, is unity. We find it, we see it. So, the ball is in our court. You take care.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. The caller, and I think I'm obligated. To answer the question, and I would not tell the relationship very good. Very good. You have a cabinet. You have a cabinet. I can't see what has how it would have deteriorated in the way. So one would have to come to the public and discuss cabinet business that should be discussed in cabinet. And just for information, any minister, any member of cabinet can bring a matter to the cabinet. All they have to do. There are three ways I should say. You can present a cabinet submission, which is the most appropriate way. You can submit a memorandum. Or you can, as cabinet proceeds, there are matters by mention. But you have to submit. Or send your submission to the cabinet secretary, not to the Prime Minister. It's a cabinet secretary. the memorandum, if they're more than one, the cabinet submissions, presented to the cabinet, and their ways and prescriptions to do that. No one is precluded from sending the cabinet submission to. So when I hear people saying that they can't get things out, I am baffled. Really, I am baffled. Really, and that has to be false and ludicrous. The cabinet secretary entertain every submission from every cabinet member, and they only come from the cabinet members. They are the permanent secretaries within the ministry and are submitted to the cabinet secretary. So I don't see what they're saying. They can't get things, or the prime minister nonsense. Really nonsense. I tell you the truth. Let's have some other time. Perhaps some other time we'll discuss cabinet submissions and memoranda. Call you live.
Good night, Patches.
Just call. Good night, Jamdo. Good night, Jamdo.
Patches, how are you?
I am peaceful. Yourself? I am peaceful. Yourself?
Well, let me show you something, you know. In this country called Nevis right now, the people of this country is not going left unity, you know. We bring unity and we going with unity. You understand? So all who want unity, that's them. But when you move around this country, everybody's saying they put a unity government there, head by Timothy Harris, and they're giving it support. You understand? Patches, I want to clear the airways and let this country know that the security hut starts to in motion again. And it's surprising that the minister for the security hut during the convention ain't say about it. And it's very troubling. And unless that be clear, I don't think he's going nowhere. Because that will tag him like when a little child born up the hospital and they tag him. Unless he don't come to the country and clear up that down there, he ain't going nowhere. And I warning him, if he ain't going to the cabinet, go to the cabinet. I want all these ministers who trying to undermine unity and ain't going to the cabinet. Go to the cabinet, you know, because I don't like why I get. The people mad at I, I don't care what Crazy John is saying about Jam Down, you know, Jam Down on you. And Crazy John can't match Jam Down. Because if you, a man, want to pose up in politics, listen to this status. And you ain't know Robert Bradshaw. You come and tell the world you ain't know who Robert Bradshaw be. You will like to meet Robert Bradshaw. You ain't qualified to talk politics in this country. You ain't know nothing about politics. Patches, I want the people of this country to know that the power is in the people. The people will decide how this country must go. Have a good night, Patches. Heal up Jacqueline. Heal up culture. Heal up Cecil Rock. And heal up the man radical culture. Have a good night, Patches.
Have a good night as well. Have a good night as well, dear Brother Jam Down. Trying to get this call here on video. A caller, I'm dying to get you on. Are you there? Are you there, caller? I'm afraid you're not, but let's try to sort that out before we go. Caller, you're live. Yes, caller? Are you there, caller? Caller?
Yeah, I'm here.
Go ahead, sir.
What I'll do, I'll continue to talk because I come in you. I hear you. Now, Patches, I just want to clear up something, right? Now, when you have a cabinet and ministers inside there, and they have a Ramgo DJ outside trying to break up the cabinet, and none of them could say, look, leave me out of that. I can talk for myself. And no, they're supporting him with false information, and he going and spreading it. Every day this man and the Prime Minister name, you name, culture name, manners name,
Rock name and Mr. Politics name. And now we're bringing Wally into the mix. You know? Why you are doing this? Why you are doing this? He have his hand full. You know, with some of them stolen goods where you buying out of Miami. From the thing and unnamed brand things and selling them down in the place. And you want to tell me custom and them ain't doing nothing about it? You can't walk and sell things what is unnamed brand labeled properly and they're selling them in this country. And then you want to go blame Indian other business and all of that. Think about yourself before you reach to them people. What you're doing is wrong. And those people taking up the $3, the $5, and the $100 to gain, to bring down a whole nation. He say he can bring it down. It's a nation he bringing down, you know. He ain't bringing down the Prime Minister because the Prime Minister is not ready for it yet. You understand me? The Prime Minister was the best for him.
Okay, I got you. I think I got you, Rob. I think I got you.
Brother. All right. Okay.
Thanks a lot. I want us to avoid. I know you didn't call it a name. I know you didn't call it a name. I really don't want to. I really don't want to entertain language that borders on inflammatory or libelous. Though I will hasten to call it a name. It didn't call it a name. But please try to avoid language. Please do that for keep us at a particular. I call out your life.
Yeah, Patrick again. Patrick, I remember a few years back, you hear the Labour and the Palmer say they got too much problems. They had too much problems. They had too much Labour. We want something new. We want something fresh. All of them going to do the same thing. We want something fresh. And now we get something fresh. A unity government, because of what was going on under the Palmer administration when Labour was there. We get a unity government. Has done so well in the first term for the people of the Federation. Come back in the second term, 2020, and get elected convincingly again. And you're going to tell me that people are going to ignore that? Patrick, but let me tell you something. He can't bring in a country. People got history more like a clown show, Patricia show. You know, that's like a clown show. You cannot bring in a country. 20 people, as we said, 98% literate. And we know what the young people stand for in this country. We know what the young people in stand for. The young people know what they went through. And the Palmer administration, they never went through their lives. And it seems to me like they're planning legislation and propagating these things again to happen again. Trying to insult people to go and do wrong things. That's as far as I'm concerned. I hear them talking. But you see, it's people that tell me this because every day I get customer, every day come on and they say customer to call me and tell me and I talk tongue up. But I want to tell him this tongue man could convince more anybody in the Federation of Nevis and got more respect. As intelligent as he be, he say be, and I'm not very blessing. I know that the people of this Federation, especially young people, got a lot of respect for me and they let what us do and the radio to uplift them because this is what the country wants. I want our young people to be in good job. Want our young people doing good job, and only this unity government I see that under the leadership of Dr. is to get it done. The man is a capable leader and touches a key political party going into election. The political party who win the most seats, them going farm the government, and then when you say the Prime Minister, I don't know this bang about leadership. You got to win your seat in any election to be a leader in your constituency where you're running for. So I don't know where this leadership and this leadership talk come up. So ridiculous. You understand me? Brother Sean is the leader of the People's Action Movement with 4 seats right now. What they got to do, again, Sergeant, what they got to do? Pay attention to the constitution. Look for the people in the government now. Do what they got to do. Everybody know the situation with the pandemic. Sometimes you ask them where you can get them. Look me. A lot of things since unity gone in. Me ask for me and get the patches. So what I do? Other people they getting help and me got for that. Because they're part of the country. And they're getting help and they're doing well. But yes, I just want the people of this country, don't let nobody distract you. Focus on the right thing the government is doing for the ordinary man and woman in the federation, and do not let nobody distract with the ignorance. Let the Prime Minister this and the Prime Minister that. We got a good government, and I believe the men in the capable too. So as I say, Pam, CCM, and all our government right now with the PLP, you try to do what I got to do for the people. Election will come around again, next 5 years come around, the people them go to the poll and decide what they want. The parties have a God bless the Federation of St. Nevis, and God bless for the culture, God bless rap, and jam down and all days to make the contribution to your program. I believe you're picking. Parties, good night.
Good night, brother. Good night, brother. Take this and take this and my final call for the night. My final call for the night. Caller, you're live. Yes, caller.
Patches, I will ask you a question. Could you tell the nation what is the reason why the new Bansley High School hasn't started as yet? Because I've heard you said over the couple months that everything has been approved. But what is the holding up? It's because you ain't got any cabinet on Mondays why the school ain't started. Patches, I have had grandchildren who come out from primary school and went to secondary school, up tailors indoors to long wooden building, and the school years has ended, and they're now bound to go Clarence Fitzroy College, indoors to wooden houses. And the problem they had with the grammar school that you went to, it was talked about before 2015 election. It was talked about, and you're going to tell me 2015 election come and gone, and nothing has done with the school? Eh? Well, what politicians go talk and try to wind up people for? If they know they ain't gonna be acting on the business. That is too much of procrastination with the school. It is time to get it going. You will learn another 5 term going and no school start yet, and then there's going to be another big political talk. I hope not. It was said that when Dr. Douglas win the election tonight, he went to Nevis in a boat in the dead of the night. He almost drowned. And then he got two here down here now. The last election, I understand they went south. That is run up there. They like to run up. They like to run up. What are they running up for? Why does a while to go in where Dr. Harris says, take it easy. Every top sit in the own bottom. You have to give an account for your stewardship. Think about the country. People vote to put idea. Don't want to leave every minute to talk about how you're going up. Going up what? Mark ain't going to join with IO. Not because Mark come and Mark leg him out and say what he want to say. He ain't going to join with IO to work up no unity. Unity come out the Bible. You all respect that. And I will abuse all of us tomorrow. Rock, good night. Jam down, good night. Politics, good night. Alice, good night. Janet, good night. Jacqueline, good night. Everybody, good night. And me 3 warriors over here in number 7. Thank you, Patches. Have a good night. Take care of yourself. God bless. Me back bad, me could take word. I'm a cyclist. Good night, Patches.
words, government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth, were expressed by Abraham Lincoln way back in 1863, nigh 159 going on to 160 years ago. And as I was saying before that technical glitch, when I look at the political gymnastics happening at home, these words echo in my mind, just like the fire truck siren. I can hear it now racing towards Molyneux to out that fire at the Joshua Obadiah Williams School. And as a matter of fact, my Straight Dog family, I want to say in the process that power belongs to the people, and successors to leadership cannot dictate to the people. They must instead go to the people. I want to say as well that a lot of us are ignoring history. And if we ignore our history, we would be more likely to make mistakes, although we've heard that we ought to learn something from our mistakes. However, some of us do not learn those lessons well enough at times. We reflected on our leadership. And my Straight Dog family, the people will decide who will continue as the leader of this country in time to come. But believe me, as a country, we are still recovering from the economic crisis of unprecedented proportions caused by COVID-19. We don't know what will happen with the altercation or war over there in Europe. So let us focus on the people. Let us focus on giving the people something to hold on to. Remember, my Straight Dog family, what we achieved. All of us in St. Kitts Nevis agree that unity brought great benefits to St. Kitts and Nevis. Yes, you may want me to hush, but I'm not going to hush, because my rights are protected by the Constitution. The people will decide. In a true democracy, the power lies in the people, and that is the only way you will have a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. That's my story for the night, my Straight Dog family, and I am not going to change it. But I want to thank Almighty God for guiding our conversation tonight, and as always, I want to thank you, the many callers who called into the program, and the many who just did not get in due to a technical glitch here. We have a new system. We are trying to get it up and running, so bear with us. My Straight Dog family, whatever your mind conceive, that you will achieve. But first of all, you got to believe. And I saw something here from Jasmine there, and your breakfast looks good. Breakfast tomorrow, saltfish and Johnny cake. I hope that I'll get some of that soon. But whatever you might conceive, my Straight Dog family, that you will achieve. But first of all, you got to believe. So when you wake in the morning, thank God for the morning light. Thank Him for taking you through the night. And my Straight Dog family, keep moving on. Until we connect on Thursday, be good to yourselves and all whom you meet. Bye-bye. Until we connect on Thursday.
Moving on till we reach the top somehow.